Today I'm ranking every World Cup group based off how entertaining they were. Starting with Group A, we've got Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. So we'll start it with Mexico, of course. Host country, opening game. Throwback in terms of the opening game as well. That was pretty cool against South Africa. Also, opening ceremony received some backlash and some hate. In my opinion, I didn't really mind it. It was all right. But again, I'm ranking in terms of the games and entertainment. And honestly, I'd say this group is probably one of the easier ones to rank because outside of Mexico and the final game for South Africa, of course, I can't forget that, I'd say not much happened. So it comes down to pretty much Mexico and their games. Of course, like I said, South Africa making it to the round of 32. First time they made it past the group stage, that was very cool. But outside of that and Mexico, I'd say without taking too much time on one group because we've got 12 groups to go, I'd probably pop it in entertaining, and that's just because of that opening game. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably lean towards forgettable, but for now, entertaining. Okay, Group B. Again, one with a bit more of those weaker teams. We've got Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Again, I don't know if I said that right. And Qatar. Now, if we're talking opening games, this one was shocking. I mean, look at this. 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw, and 1-1 draw. But second game showed up, I'll be honest. We had the 6-0 Canada, reminding us that they're still here. They're a host country as well. And Switzerland as well, 4-1. And I'll be honest, Switzerland should be making it out easily. And they did end up first, so fair play. And last game day as well, very good, I'm not going to lie. Bosnia with 4 points to make it through. Switzerland putting their foot down, very entertained. And no pun intended, that's why for me, it goes here. But it is definitely higher than Group A for sure. And also, I will be ranking them from highest to lowest in each individual rank as well. So yeah, for this one, I'd go above Group A, entertaining. Now we get into amazing football territory because Group C did not disappoint. Although Brazil and Morocco was 1-1, the quality displayed was something else. Also, Morocco, as a nation, I gotta say, everyone expected them to be good, but not this good, let's be honest. They did get second place, but that's only because of goal difference. So you got to give your props to Morocco. Brazil, back-to-back 3-0s. I know one of them was Haiti, but the Scotland game was also kind of a shock. Neymar coming on, that adds points in itself. I mean, this group was very good. Again, if we're ranking entertainment-wise, right now I'm thinking banger. And I will put it there because it's kind of empty right now, but I wouldn't mind later moving it down to probably the top of entertaining. But we're going to have to see with the rest of the groups. All right, moving on, Group D. Yeah, this one was a good group. It's USA, Australia, Paraguay, and Turkey. All right, overall, I'd say we had the shock factor of how good the US was. No one expected that. That's one. We had Turkey being eliminated after just 2 games. Everyone picking them as their dark horse, and then they disappoint like that. That's 2. We also had the infamous referee moment. I know everyone knows what I'm talking about. After review, number 10, Paraguay. One of my favorite moments of the World Cup for sure. But if we take a look at the games, we had, of course, the US running riot, like I said, losing to Turkey in the last game, but obviously didn't really matter because on the opposite hand, Turkey stunk it up the first 2 games. And then when it didn't matter, they beat the US. Australia and Paraguay both ended on 4 points as well. They beat Turkey. They had some exciting games in there. And I think I'm confident in putting this in banger just because of the upset of Turkey losing and how surprising the USA was. And I would definitely go higher than Group C. Okay, another exciting one. Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. Now, Germany, besides the last game against Ecuador, I'm surprised by that. They looked very strong. One of the favorites to win the whole thing, I'd have to say. Smacking Curacao 7-1. I don't know what's with them in beating teams 7-1. But also beating Ivory Coast, who looks just so balanced across the whole starting 11. No weaknesses. That was a big surprise for me. So for Germany to beat them as well is very impressive. But as I said, for Ivory Coast, no weaknesses. They came second with 6 points. Impressed with the likes of Diomande. Ecuador's another one that people had, just like Turkey, as a dark horse. And although they did, I'll be honest, they got 4 points, but they really weren't that impressive, I'll be honest. And without taking too much time, I'd say it pretty much delivered. So I'd go bang average, I'd go entertaining, and I'd pop it in between these two because I still enjoyed Group B a little bit more. All right, now I think we might be reaching cinema territory or minimum banger because The next group is Netherlands, Sweden, Japan, and Tunisia. One of my favorite groups for sure. And outside of Tunisia, this group was fireworks. We had the back and forth 5-1 smackings. Japan also held their own and probably, I'll be honest, deserved to win against Netherlands in their draw. Also, Brobby delivered, and that was a shock. Gakpo as well. This guy always turns up when it's a Netherlands shirt. Even the last game day didn't disappoint because Elanga's goal was exactly what Sweden needed for the 4 points. One thing that is holding the group back though is the standings, because it's exactly what I predicted before the group started, which means no shocks and no upsets. But I was thoroughly entertained, and that is what we're ranking it on. So for now, I will put it in cinema. But there's definitely some groups that I can think of that would be higher in cinema. So for now, it goes here. Alright, Group G. I'm not even going to try and joke with this one. Straight to snooze first. And look, something to note is last game day, Belgium did finally decide to show up. Also, Salah and his win for Egypt was very good. But besides that, the games were just too boring. Also, the expectation I had, and many other people had as well for this group, was just really high, and then the reality was just the exact opposite. So I'm sorry, Tim Payne, but for me, this goes here. Another one where not much happened: Spain, Uruguay, Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia. The only difference with Egypt's group is that this group provided us with one of the most entertaining 0-0s I've ever seen. Also, Cape Verde holding Spain off to 0-0 was very impressive in itself. So the whole Cape Verde saga definitely adds points for me. Uruguay and Saudi were disappointing, and Spain did what Spain normally does. So not a surprise that they kept 3 clean sheets. Look, I'm thinking forgettable, but what Cape Verde did is impossible to forget. So I'll go bottom of entertaining, and yeah, I'll probably keep it there. Also, I remember saying I might drop Brazil's group down by 1, but looking at it right now, I think it's fair, and I'm probably happy to leave it there. All right, now for the toughest group by far in this World Cup. We've got France, Norway, Senegal, and Iraq. Hats off for this group because Mbappe and Haaland showed up. Not just them, to be fair, as well. Dembele got a hat-trick in that last game to remind everyone, look, he's still here. Senegal absolutely embarrassed Iraq to pick up 3 points. They also got a comfortable goal difference. And I'm probably most impressed, if I had to say, with Norway, because I didn't expect them to beat Senegal, but they ended the group with 6 points and pretty comfortably. Look, I think everyone who tuned into this World Cup knows exactly where this goes. It's very easy. I'm not going to waste time. Straight to the top of cinema. All right, Group J. This one's Argentina, Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. This one's easy. If we look at some of the key fixtures, we had Argentina versus Algeria. That game alone, Messi's hat-trick, and just the greatness that we watched, I'm looking at right now, maybe entertaining and above minimum. And then he topped it off with another 2 goals in the next game, breaking the record. I mean, just that alone, like I said, right now, maybe edging it towards banger. Austria versus Jordan was also a very good game, but I think it's pretty expected, the fact that both Algeria and Austria grabbed 3 points off Jordan. So nothing out of the ordinary happened there, but overall, it's a very good group. Now, I am basing this off just the first 2 games, and the reason is, as of recording right now, they haven't actually played their final games. The reason I'm recording them now and not after is because I want to get this out before the round of 32, so I'm not going to have much time. That's why the final games haven't actually happened yet, but probably by the time you guys watch this, they would have happened, and I'm assuming nothing much is going to change. So just based off the greatness alone, like I said, I'm probably edging it towards banger, and that was purely because of Messi. So yeah, it would have been higher, but I'd say not enough happened with the other teams. Now from one GOAT to another, Group K. Portugal, Colombia, DR Congo, and Uzbekistan. This one had some unexpected turns. And same thing as Argentina's group in terms of I'm filming it before they actually play their last games. So keeping that in mind and looking at just what happened in the group, I'm not going to lie, this was more than entertaining. Portugal had that draw against DR Congo, which spiraled the whole footballing world. Every media outlet was slandering Ronaldo's name. We had Henry, Zlatan, everyone was speaking about it. Just for him to come back against Uzbekistan, 2 goals, they won that game 5-0. And we had the whole post-game interview scenes as well. And as for Colombia, they did not disappoint. That last-minute goal against Uzbekistan was wow. And the fact that currently they actually sit first in the table, of course, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen after they play their last game. But knowing that makes Portugal versus Colombia a do-or-die game. Not in terms of making it into the round of 32, because I'm pretty sure they're both pretty much confirmed, but in order to have a significantly easier route. So I'm expecting that game to be fireworks. Now, in terms of the other teams, Uzbekistan, DR Congo, they kind of produced what I expected. But their final game is also going to be fireworks, considering they both desperately need to win. So keeping that in mind, based off what we've seen and what I'm expecting to happen in the final game day, I'm going to have to put this in cinema. And last but not least, Group L, England, Ghana, Croatia, Panama. I'll be honest, I can keep this one short and sweet. Besides England's opening game against Croatia, which was very good, don't get me wrong, the rest of the group hasn't been the best. Once again, like I said, they have one more game to play, so it could maybe deliver something. But as of now, it looks like England, Ghana and Croatia all make it out the round of 32. And yeah, like I said, for this one, I'd probably go forgettable. And yeah, there's the list for every World Cup group. If you want me to do a prediction video for the knockout rounds, let me know. Also tell me if you agree with my list. I am posting daily World Cup shorts as well, so be sure to subscribe and check those out. And yeah, until next time, peace.